hello. Hello, hello, hello. If I can get Dr. Sorrell to the box, if she's in here, please, and thank you. Ziploc, what's good, baby? If not, me and TT Mama gonna have to hold her down. She will be here.
I know she's gonna be here.
Yeah.
I feel it in my neck.
Okay. Baby, there's nothing I wouldn't do. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. There she go. There she go. Hey sis. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's a show, people. Let's go. Yes. Alexa, pause. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the second episode of Point of View with Peaches and Friends. We got my lovely co-host TT Mama. We got Dr. So Real in the house. Hey, how you doing, sis? Hello to the people, all 21 of y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming up through here. So today we got some topics we're gonna touch on, and if you guys feel like you have an opinion or a point of view, you're welcome to hop in the box. Just remember, I am recording this, and we're going to kind of keep it clean. And Dr. Sorrell, just to piggyback off what we were saying about you behind your back, we're looking forward to the word of the day from you, because we know you're going to think of a word other than a cuss word to use in place of a cuss word. So we want to know, it got to be simultaneously, because she just blurts out stuff, and you be like, "Ooh, that's deep." So, we will have Dr. Sorrell meditate us out of here, because it's Monday. We need to get all the bad juju off of us and all that good stuff. So, TT Mama, you had your hand up? Yes, baby, yes.
No, I was just agreeing, my love. Just agreeing.
See, let me tell y'all something about Dr. Sorrell. In the morning time, we namaste 6 feet away, okay? And TT Mama's now using her Zen voice, her inside voice. I love it. TT Mama, your face is adorable. I love it. Dr. Sorrell, I see you. Yes. Okay. All right. So. Huh?
Oh,
okay.
Look at Paz.
Let's give it up for the outfit. It's the outfit for me. Is the tail cut out?
Yes, yeah. He can use the bathroom.
How cute is that? Y'all give it up for P-Dub. That's nephew in the building. He's flying.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, I was going to do Man Crush Monday, but I don't see him in here yet. So, we're gonna put that on the table for a minute. So, I do want to first off give a shout out to all the people in Louisiana that have lost their homes and things like that due to Hurricane Ida. It happened on the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. I got family down there. I'm sure we all have family down in Louisiana. I'm just saying, everybody has somebody down there. But it was only one fatality, and he was actually hit by a tree. So I'm not sure if there's any more since then, but this morning when I checked, it was only one fatality, which is good, and the storm is moving along, and it's dropped down to a tropical storm. It's no longer, you know what I mean, in that vein of being catastrophic. But I just want to speak on the steadfastness of New Orleans, how they got together as a community, people, Republicans, Democrats, and fixed them doggone levees. Because had they not been repaired, and had they not put that money into those levees, it could have been worse than Katrina. They said it made the whole ocean change direction. You know how the ocean going this way? They said the winds was blowing so tough to make the ocean go back this way. So it could have been worse. What's your point of view?
Different perspective of that. I'm gonna tell you, I thought about that.
I can't hear you, sis.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
No. Turn your volume up.
No, get closer to the phone.
Yeah, get closer to the phone.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. So I had a whole different perspective that I was as far as New Orleans was concerned, you know, this all started out as flatlands, right? At some point or another, there was no civilization and there was no upgrading anywhere. It never occurred. Two things that were just pertinent on my brain last night when I went to sleep. One, what would the world be like if there was no such thing as slavery and racism? Two, there are some lands that are just not to be meant to be developed on. So maybe Louisiana is not a place of every place needed to be developed on. You know, some places just need to stay greenery and for wildlife. You know what I mean? So I mean, you know, they had to actually build those levees in Louisiana in order for people to live there because they knew that Louisiana was a fucking valley. They knew that if it rained, that it would wash all of the people out. They knew that from the very beginning. So why would you develop a land that you knew was destined for catastrophic events?
Well, you know what? Go ahead. There you go, right there. It's capitalism. You know, they want to make sure they can capitalize on any piece of land they can. Same thing with California. We from California, Teaching Mama. Did you know that the San Andreas Fault is from San Bernardino all the way up the whole coastline of California? And when that big earthquake comes, it's gonna crack off, and then California, LA, and all that is gonna be island. Just like Catalina was part of California. They had the big earthquake and it just sailed on out to sea. So a lot of the things that is happening to our earth, our mother earth, our planet is being done based for specifically for money. Nobody's thinking about the long term. They're thinking about the right now. So what do? TT Mama, what's your point of view?
So real talk, literally, New Orleans and California eventually are going to be underwater. And people don't understand that. They don't understand that. They paying all this money for these houses, and they gonna be underwater soon.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
That's true.
So y'all need to start investing somewhere else. Invest somewhere else. Make that your visiting location.
But you got people. But you got people, you got history. You have to think about it like, yeah, the places that they're developing in, it doesn't make any sense for you to develop there. Like in California, we have people that want to be so far away from civilization that they go move to the mountains, right? And then they wonder why bears is in their trash cans and why they seeing bears. Come on, man. You in their habitat. That's their natural habitat. The water...
I have a friend who lives in Africa, and she sent me some pictures, some video pictures of there's just in her kitchen an array of fucking monkeys that just come in her house at will. I mean, big ass monkeys the size of a fucking toddler that are just in there like, hey, we just fucking chilling. I'm like, yo, and that's like the norm. That's like their roaches or mice or what have you. Monkeys just running in your house at random. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. And you know what? That's to you as a human being that you do not fucking belong there. That is their place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when your car get hit by a deer, what that mean? That means the deer was there first. Yo, the deer was there first.
He's like, this
we have no creative word for the F word.
He said, the deer said, hey, wait a minute. This used to be all green. You didn't put some, you didn't changed up my, like they like consistency too. Deers like consistency too, okay?
They do.
Just like women do, deers like consistency. They like, I know I used to run straight through here.
Yeah. What you say, so real?
I said, now we mad at the deer because your car looks like a tuna fish can, but the deer was the only real person in the whole equation. The deer was there first, you know what I'm saying? You came in and wrecked his home, you know? Right. So now you mad and ran out in front of your car, but your car wasn't supposed to be there.
You know right. I get it. I get it. I get your point of view. I get it. So if you guys have a point of view in the audience, what do you guys think? Do you think that we can stop this water retention type situation? I mean, because we are going through a drought. Like the Mother Nature is, he says technology is surpassed Mother Nature, but who's controlling it?
We can't.
Okay. So we have to make a difference in our community, people. Sometimes we're sitting down, not saying nothing, doesn't get us very far. If we get out, we go out, we vote, like Dr. Real said in the last episode, we get out and vote and we make a difference in our communities. So I want to give a shout out again to the families and the people that have lost their homes and stuff. And if you guys can do something for them, do something for somebody. Tell somebody you love them, because tomorrow is not promised to us, okay? All right.
A phone call if you. I mean, we all are kind of suffering as far as in fiduciary relationships and matters of money. But I mean, it don't take nothing to call somebody and say, "Hey, you know what? You was running across my mind, and I just wanted to let you know I'm here for you."
Yep. We can fly. We can go to space. We can go to places, and we only can stop us. That's true. That's true. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a Point of View with Peachez. We got Dr. So Real. We got TT Mama in the building. Thank you all again for coming out. We are recording live. If you guys have any opinions about what we just discussed, the hurricanes, the shout outs, and all that good stuff, so we're going to put up our Purple Hearts for the families in New Orleans, and then those people that are going to be enduring some of that rain that's getting ready to come that way. You never know. So it might get a little slow here. I'm going to tag that. Okay, so guess what? We're going to talk about respect. Finally.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had.
Finally, my sis has seen the movie. We all have, three of us have seen the movie. If you've seen the Aretha Franklin movie, just put a yeah in the comments. You watching it now? Spoiler alert. Spoiler, we gave y'all enough time. It had been out for a whole month. It's good. He said, be right back. No, listen, let me tell y'all. This movie, it touched my core to the point to where I felt like, damn, she went through all that. Riri went through all of that. And then I look at it like, I got mad. I think I got mad at some point. Of course I did. I got mad at some point because I'm like, why was she so private? But then I get it. You don't want everybody in your business. People calling her this. They calling her fat. They calling her whitewashed. They calling her a hypocrite. They calling her all these things. But you don't know what that woman is dealing with. And mentally, I don't think it ever registered to her that the way that she was living and what had happened to her in her life wasn't right. I don't think it ever registered to her. You know what I'm saying? Even after death, because I think that she told Jennifer, like Titi Mama said, she told her, don't put this movie out till after I'm dead. Because it's going to put some people out there in the light that they don't want to be seen in. So, who's first? Okay. I can't hear you, sis. Come closer to the phone.
If you've watched any movies where the matriarch or the patriarch of the family has been deemed any type of abuser, they never ever put that out there until the abuser is dead. You know, so not only did she want to make sure that the abuser was dead, meaning her daddy, she needed to make sure that she was gone too, because maybe she couldn't live with the fact that she put her daddy on blast. Because they had that mixture that was kind of like, that love-hate.
Yeah.
I think there was a part of her that loved to match her father and the person that was mentoring her career. But on the same token, how do you love a motherfucker that impregnates you at 13? You know what I'm saying? How do you rectify that in your mind? I'm pregnant by my father, who's also the minister, who is the preacher of the church. This is the good life preacher that I At 13, I got a baby in my belly by my daddy.
12.
She had the baby at 13. She had the baby at 13. But you got to remember, he wasn't the only one raping that child. His friends were coming in. When they had all those people around in that house and the men had access to Aretha, that man came in that room and he opened up the door and we know what happened because it went to black. Then next thing we know, she's pregnant. We couldn't figure it out to the end. And we look, go ahead, TT Mama.
That little segment right there resonated with me in a big way because my mother used to tell me all the time about how my grandmother used to have these big parties in her house and she was always drunk and drinking and not knowing what her men friends was doing. But she wouldn't really put it out there to us like, and she would always say, watch your girl children, because, don't be so out of it that you trust people around your girl children because my mother was always so drunk she just didn't know what was going on. And it took me a long time to realize why my mother was so angry. But I get to the point now knowing what I know as an adult about pedophiles and predators and things of that nature. Somebody was not paying attention to what was going on in her life. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this to every woman that has a stressed relationship with her mother. It is imperative, breathe that in, for you to know your mother's child woman story. Because that woman didn't get to be a pill popper or a drug addict or a prostitute or whatever it is, what's the word I'm looking for? A narcissist. She didn't get to be that. She wasn't born that way. Something happened. And it's imperative for you to find out what your mother's woman story is before you start talking about, I just don't like her. I just can't be around her. Because I need you to remember, you are drinking from that same well. You're drinking from that same well. So you're going to be that same woman.
True. TT Mama, what's up? What's your point of view, babe? Because you cried. You cried.
Because when you've lived some of that story, it touches you. I've lived some of that story. So that's the first thing. Second thing, this is the problem we have today and from back then. That little girl was sitting right there in the kitchen. And that woman knew. But, hold on. This is the sad part. She chose her son over her granddaughter. That's the part. Because that's what she did. She knew. She looked at that baby, and when that baby, whole attitude and everything was different, she knew. Because guess what? She lived it. That lady, that grandma, had already lived it. That's why it was okay with her. Because she didn't know no better.
Right.
I'm here to say I know in either direction, but I'm always here to bring the divinity in the equation. And this is what I feel like I know on that point of view. Being the mother of children who have been sexually abused, this is what I think the grandmother chose. I don't think she chose her son over her granddaughter. I think she chose to keep peace in her family. I think that's just a hard thing, a hard pill to swallow in either direction. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think of it on all sides of the venue. My mother has been molested. My children have been molested. My children have been molested by somebody in my family that literally broke our family in part. It was like half of the people was on my side and half of the people was rolling with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because it was my mother's son. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just how, sometimes you have to figure out a way. How do I mediate this thing without fucking up everything? Without messing up everything. And sometimes you can't do that, but that's the mind frame. I'm not saying that it was right. I want you to get that real clear. I'm not saying that it was right. I'm just saying, as a baby boomer, the grandmother being a baby boomer, not entitled to all of the information that we have now. Their whole focal point in 1950 was, we are not breaking this family apart.
Yep.
You know, nowadays our whole thing is we don't get that marriage is more for our holiness than it is for our happiness. Nowadays our attitude, if I ain't happy with you, I'm done with you. We breaking up, it's over, I'm through. But we don't realize it ain't all about being happy all the time.
Well, see, this is the thing. See, the father had a congregation in a whole nother state. And he molested them there. And mama left with him then. So mama knew her son was nasty, dirty, a pedophile. Guess what mama said? I'm taking care of him. I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to do what I need to do with these here kids. And I'm going to just keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to keep my head down. That's what mama did. She had a chance to change. This is what I mean about changing the end result. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish my thought, because you know I'm high and I forget. Now look. see, this is, what was she supposed to do? She was supposed to make a change in that outcome. She knew that her son was a pedophile. You got granddaughters. You see how that man is with them little girls. Hold on. Not tonight. Not on my watch, son. Not on my watch. Yeah. And then when mama would have stood up to him, that nigga would have bucked down. I'm telling you. But nobody did that. Nobody, I'm telling you.
I'm asking you a question. What was the change that the grandmother was supposed to make? And I want you to remember, this is 1950. What was the change that the grandmother was supposed to make?
Protect her grandkids. Because, like I said, he had already started doing things, and they had to up and leave because of him being a pedophile in his congregation in another state. So if that was the reason, you already know that he touching little girls and doing stuff. You need to have your eyes open on your own little girls.
Well, maybe
that's not nothing that has anything to do with what era we are in. When you have children, grandchildren, and at that point, that's your grown son, and then those are your granddaughters. But then you see that something ain't right with your own offspring, but you know you got to protect these grandbabies. That's what I know.
Okay, all right. So let me just say this, and we're gonna go from here. I understand both of you guys, what you guys are saying. To piggyback off of what Dr. Sorrell said, we have been going through trauma all of our lives, and it is a generational curse. So I understand what Teaching Mama is saying as well. It's a generational curse. It should have stopped with Big Mama back then. It didn't happen. Now, moving forward, the Big Mamas of today are perpetuating this type of behavior with their kids. They're perpetuating the put your boobies out and acting fast and stripping and twerking and doing all these things in front of their daughters. And then when they get taken advantage of and they come to their mama and say, "Mama, this man touched me," she'd be like, "You know what? You shouldn't have had your titties out. You shouldn't have been shaking your butt. You shouldn't have been twerking on Instagram." Instead of sitting down with her and saying, "No, look, don't do what I do. Do what I say." And then be the example that little girl needs. Don't do what you don't want her to do. Don't be all promiscuous, and not saying that Aretha was being promiscuous to get taken advantage of. I'm just saying what they're perpetuating nowadays as opposed to back in 1950 is totally different. I get what Dr. Real is saying about it was a long time ago. People used to hide mental illnesses, rapists, all that stuff. And people have been raping women forever, period. And nobody does anything about it. But as long as you I make sure that my kids were protected, and I make sure my grandkids are protected. But we can't be with them 24 hours a day. We don't really know what that woman was thinking, because me, I would have did the Mississippi burning. I'd have been the grandmama that shot her own son because he was messing with the little babies. But that's me. She had to be, like you said, taken advantage of at a young age as well, to where she thought that this was something that is natural. And we have to start breaking the generational curses that's destroying our youth in our community.
She thought it was natural. I think maybe by her own accord, she thought that maybe she was protecting her grandchildren by staying there, because she didn't have to live there with them. Why was she living there with them? See, we didn't question that. Why is she living there?
Because her son had the money. She didn't have to leave. She left because he had the money. That's why she left. She was being huh?
So she didn't. He had money. They didn't.
That's what she said.
That's why she left. But what I'm saying, she chose her lifestyle over basically. Not. I think that she should have spoke up. That's just me. But that's just me. I'm just saying that's just me. But things are different. People go through. But I didn't speak up until I went through shit. I didn't speak up right then and there. So, I understand that point as well. But I knew that after I grew up and I went through some shit and talked to some people and found out things wasn't right, then I'm like, wait a minute. So when you have a daughter, you want to educate your kids.
Right.
Not just look after them, you educate them. You need to tell them how textiles operate. You need to tell them that if you get in the car with this motherfucker, we don't have all his motherfucking information, and check the motherfucker that it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Background him that.
Reporting live, people. We're live. We are live. We are live. TT Mama. She passionate.
It's a hard decision on both sides, because one, that was her granddaughter. Two, that was her son. And I'll say this on this note. When my brother molested my children, my mother, who is their grandmother, she told me this. When I went to press charges against my brother, this is exactly what my mother told me. She sent my brother on the run, and she said, you do what you need to do to protect your children, and I'll do what I need to do to protect my son. Because at the end of the day, they may have been her grandkids, but that was her son.
Now see what I mean? See what I mean? The kids are
anyway. This is what I'm saying, TT. Even on my mother's part, it don't make her wrong. She doing what she needed to do to protect her child. I was doing what I needed to do to protect my child, and she was doing what she needed to do to protect her child. They always say it's a dangerous place to be between a mother and her child. And that's a dangerous place.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for tapping into
for a little while, TT. Somebody came up to you and told you that Tajane robbed the bank. They get ready to arrest her. What you gonna do?
Girl, we already been through some stuff, and we got in the car and we was ready to go.
Are you gonna turn your daughter in, or you turning your daughter in and telling her to call the cops, or you sending her on the run?
Okay.
Listen. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show, because ain't no love like a mother love. I promise you, there is no love like a mother's love for her child.
About y'all didn't want this woman to love on her son just because he was a pedophile.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
We didn't say that. We didn't say that. We didn't say that. We did not say that. We're saying what we would do as us, as we are. But there was a disconnect between the grandmother, the son, and Aretha. And then we don't know why Aretha mama left either.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Okay, go ahead. Fill us in. What happened?
Okay. So the mama left. There's two reasons. She was a singer as well. Okay. But the reason she left is because Mr. Franklin got abusive. Not only was he abusive, he was playing with little girls.
True.
And if that's the case, why are we so mad at the grandmother? Why are you not mad at her mother for leaving her there with the pedophile?
Wait a minute.
We gotta get there. We gotta get there. We gotta get there. We gotta get there. We spent a lot of time on the mother, the grandmother, and the father and why it was done. But there were so many layers to this movie to where if you didn't watch it, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the Aretha Franklin biopic that we all watched. We're giving our point of view on it. If you guys had a chance to take a look at it, please tap in. You can do it in the comments. You can ask for the box, but keep it cussing down because we are recording. There were so many layers to this movie. There's so many layers to this movie. Now, I got the incest. I got the molestation. I got also the categorization. Like people was like, you shouldn't go with them. Why you're not with Motown? It was so many demons going on in that woman's head. Can you imagine? We can't even imagine. So Rita got the drinking. She was an alcoholic. She kept all this stuff private. You know what I'm saying? Her son, her firstborn son, was her father's child. And every man she married or went with after that, she named him after their father. We didn't figure it out till after we seen the movie. But TT Mama, tell them what you found out.
Which part you want me to start at?
If you don't start somewhere, anywhere, and you can pick up anywhere in that movie.
We was talking about the mama. So the mama left because of the abuse and all of that. But when she left empty-handed. Nothing. She said, I'm coming back to get my kids when I get my life right. I need to get my life right so I can come get my kids, so I can provide for my kids. She, unfortunately, she died.
Mysteriously.
Suddenly. / heart attack, car crash. When she was about to come get her kids. At 34. A healthy woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. That part.
So, I'm not... Now, to address what you said, Dr. Reese, no one is saying that she is not equally responsible for her kids. And I think that lady already knew, you know, I don't think she knew he would touch his own kids. I honestly didn't think that she knew that he would touch his own kids. And then when the baby was trying to talk to her mama cut her off. Remember? Mama cut her off.
Yeah.
So, you know.
She don't want to talk about it.
Right. So, I mean, that's how young kids are. We trying to, and we don't know how to communicate with you. This is what happened. And then when somebody cuts you off, you just like, well, then forget it.
But she had an admiration for her father that was unsurpassed. Like she loved that man. She loved to sing, and that's what some of these sick folk do. They lure the kids in with something that they like. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you like to go to the music bar, I'm gonna take you to the music, and then I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna abuse you. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like the manipulation just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It's the Aretha movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. Go see it. It's a good look. I mean, it's a good watch. You want to watch it, and then you want to, if you have sisters, nieces, aunties, anybody that's a woman, you should have a little bit more respect for them after that movie, because you don't know what we go through, and we don't know what y'all go through unless y'all tell us. So, as a mother.
Okay, as a mother at that time, what would I have done? Okay, as Aretha's mother or Aretha's father's mother? Which one?
That would be grandmother. He's saying as the mother.
The mother. Okay, as the mother.
Aretha's mother. Aretha's mother.
Okay. I don't know how times were in 1950. I can't even imagine. I know that it was different and it was rough. I do know that. If I could safely take my kids with me, I would have took them right then and there. So I don't know what her...
She didn't have it. She didn't have it. Remember? She was torn. She was moving around.